We have an Eagles mock trade to discuss. In my opinion, this is the move that puts this team far above the rest. But the real question is, could it actually happen? We'll talk about all that and more. What is up, everybody? Welcome into A to Z Philly. You know the drill by now. Hit the like button if you enjoy this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the coverage. NFL draft coming up, but in the meantime, we need to discuss a potential Eagles trade rumor. Let me ask you this, Eagle Nation, straight up. Would you trade for Patrick Surtain, knowing what it might take to get him, knowing where this team is at, knowing that they're probably going to have to pay others? Do you think that they should go out and trade for a top-level corner like Patrick Surtain? Give me your honest thoughts down below in the comment section. And before we jump into mine, a shout-out to our sponsor of today's show, and that is BetMGM. Enjoy all your favorite sports like never before at BetMGM. Sign up with our code ATOZPA and get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you do not win your first bet. When you register with BetMGM, you'll get instant access to parlay selection features, live betting options, player props, and daily boosted odds specials. And with BetMGM at your fingertips, every play and every game matter more than ever. So find out why BetMGM is the king of sportsbooks. Sign up today with bonus code ATOZPA and get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Speaking of BetMGM, I went on BetMGM last night and I was winning big thanks to the national championship, because I knew UConn was not getting beaten, and BetMGM will help expedite your winning. So anyway, let's talk about the Philadelphia Eagles, okay? Patrick Surtain, trade proposal put out by Pre-Dom Orange, which is a platform that covers the Denver Broncos, and obviously there's been a lot of noise with that franchise this offseason. I don't think they have the worst team in the league, but they're probably trending towards rebuilding again more than, trying to compete this next year, the next couple years. And they finally got off the Wilson contract and they're going to draft probably a quarterback. And, they're kind of in that direction and just in a bit of no man's land. I mean, they've been embarrassed, for the last couple years, but it's going to take time to rebuild them up. The question is, do they want to end up trading Patrick Surtain? Are they going to pay him? We know his time is up now to get paid, and, he definitely deserves it. I mean, in 3 years, this guy is an all-pro corner, first-team all-pro. He's a two-time Pro Bowler, okay? And all this guy does is perform. Here are his stats the first couple seasons. He had 4 picks in year 1, 2 in his second year, 1 last year. You may be wondering, why does that number go down? Well, I'll tell you why. Because people realize this guy is an absolute menace, and they don't even throw the ball his way. He's just that good. He's locked down. He's played every game, and he was a 9th overall pick in 2021. He was actually the pick before the Eagles drafted his teammate, Devontae Smith. And, Patrick Surtain is an all-world player. He's probably one of the best players in that draft. And right now, I mean, is he happy? Does he want to stay in Denver? How about his perspective, right? Because, again, Patrick Surtain, probably wants to win. He's probably frustrated and tired of playing with a team that, seems like it's also going downhill. And now he has been thrown in a ton of trade rumors. The question is, should the Eagles trade for him? I think the answer is absolutely yes, 100%. Now, will there be challenges that come with trying to pay this guy? Probably, right? You have to pay Devontae and others as well, but you make it work, right? The Eagles have gone for these high-level players from these high programs in the past few years. Surtain fits the mold out of Alabama. He's already shown he can be that guy for a very long time. Imagine big play Slay and Pat Surtain. I think that puts this defense far above the rest. I know they have issues. I know they have concerns, but I've sat here for the last couple months and I'm telling you, they are most likely going to go up front in the draft. They want defensive line. That is what they always do. And, everybody's talking about linebacker or corner. Yeah, corner could have been a possibility. Secondary is still a possibility, but they addressed C.J. Gardner-Johnson, right? The safety position. They re-signed Blankenship. They picked up Devin White and Zach Bond and guys like that. So to me, it feels like if they don't go with a corner, right, because maybe they trust in Bradbury or they don't, want to go through the expense of having to cut him and do all that, they're probably going to address the D-line, pick up a couple depth pieces later in the draft and hope they can hit on one. But if the trade is there and Patrick Surtain is available, you 100% pull the trigger. Now, I know right now you look at some of these other trades going on, whether it's Ladarius Sneed, who gets, a 3rd-round pick, or Brian Burns, who got a 2nd and a 5th, even Hassan Reddick, who got a conditional 3rd-round pick. There's not a lot of value for these guys right now, and maybe that deters the Broncos from wanting to trade Patrick Surtain. But in this proposal, the Eagles get Surtain, Broncos get both of the Eagles' 2nd-round picks and a 2nd-round pick next year. Do they do that? Right? Let's look at the Eagles draft picks right now. In this upcoming draft, the Philadelphia Eagles have a 1st. They have 2 2nds, which in that proposal, they would both be included, a 4th and 3 5ths and a 6th. I mean, do they trade both 2nds this year? Do they trade 1 2nd and a 4th and a 2nd next year? Like, what does this team do? I think you always have to go with more of the sure option, right? These picks are going to turn into players. Who knows what those guys are going to be? We know what Patrick Surtain is, and if you can get him right now without even having to provide a 1st-round pick in the deal, I think 100% you pull the trigger. Let's keep in mind, not only is this dude an all-world corner, he has experience with Eagles' new defensive coordinator, Vic Fangio, who was in Denver in 2021, his last year there. That was Surtain's rookie year. And, he said good things about him back then. I mean, obviously he was still raw, but, Surtain is just an all-world corner. He's going to be one of the best in the league, and he's also going to get paid like one of the best in the league. And I know if there's one guy that knows how to figure that out, it is Howie Roseman. Now, the depth chart listed here on ESPN doesn't always provide the full story. Sometimes it's all, jumbled up. But like I said, it does feel at this current moment, and I've had this urge all along, that the Eagles are going D-line or offensive line in the draft. And obviously they're picking in the 20s, so it's not like a surefire player. Maybe they trade up. You never know, right? Maybe trade one of those 2nd-round picks. But when they go and pick up Avonte Maddox last week, when they picked up Tyler Hall, right? They picked up a lot of corner depth, guys that are going to compete for those jobs. It just makes me feel like it's not as much of a priority as we may have assumed. And, they get rid of Hassan Reddick, which I still don't agree with. I don't think it was the best move, but you had to move on. It is what it is. Let's be honest. I don't think this defensive line is oh so overwhelming right now, like top tier. And, you want guys like Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, your former 1st-round picks to step up. You still have BG. Nolan Smith has a lot to prove. Josh Sweat is back on a contract year, but, they could still add some more firepower there. So that's really where I think they're going to go. They could surprise us, but we'll see what happens on draft night. All I know is that a sure thing right now is Patrick Surtain becoming, or is already, one of the best corners in the league. And if the Philadelphia Eagles have a chance to get him, there's absolutely no reason to hesitate. They should be at the top of that list. I'm sure Howie has already done his due diligence. We'll just have to wait and find out if the Broncos are really intent on moving him. But those are my thoughts. Give me yours down below in the comment section. Do you think the Eagles should try to make a push for Pat Surtain? Is he the guy that they should invest their chips in? Give me your thoughts down below. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I will catch you on the next one. Peace.